Royster here, Holder,
Present.
Bixler.
Here. Okay, you have the minutes in front of you. Look the minutes over and we'll accept a motion to approve the minutes.
I've read them a couple times, so move.
Second.
Roll call.
Sutter,
Yes.
Royster, yes. Holder,
Yes.
Bixler.
Yes. Does any member have a motion to go into executive session at this time?
I don't know if there's a need. I can give you an update.
Okay. Ed?
I have no
Okay.
knowledge of need to.
Okay. If hearing none, we'll move down to item 7. And that's any action regarding Excel Stimulation LLC. And I think Sonia could update us on that at this time.
I can. Bill was in here last Wednesday, and he signed our agreements. He agreed to the terms that we gave him. And all of this is contingent upon us getting him through the environmental process with BNSF, and that's what I've been working on today. He just has to, we're having to prove their process, pictures, actually draw out their process and be able to show that because they top load and unload those cars, their containment has to be at least 10% of the volume of the car.
Explain that one more time.
So, in essence, if there was a spill or something, they have to be able to capture and contain at least 10% of that car. Now, if it's a bottom, if they were doing it from the bottom, it'd be 100%.
Suck it out of the top
Yes.
as opposed to drain it out.
So I'm waiting. He's supposed to be sending me pictures and drawings of their process, and then I'll get a hold of Jason at BNSF, and we're working through to make sure that they sign off on everything. Because their question to us was, because that track is actually on our property, we decided when we made our documents and everything and first entered into our agreements that whatever the BN says, whatever they want, whatever BNSF wants, that's what we want on our park as well. So just on the offhand a chance, because there's a certain spot where that becomes lease track and not our track, we all need to be on the same page. And I remember Bob asking last month about what their environmental stuff was. So that's what we're going through right now. But they did agree to our terms. We're just jumping through the hoops to get that signed off on, and then we'll be good to go. And it'll be effective once that is signed off on. And it will end December of next year. And then we'll renegotiate. So
Now,
just as an update.
is it different requirements than what he was used to in O'Keene?
Yes, it is.
Or stringent?
It's more stringent.
Okay.
It is.
Do you think in the end you'll be successful in
I
the
do.
negotiations?
I do.
And the time frame, do you have any idea? Or
I would project him having something in here maybe in January. He's, pretty aggressive about getting this done, so. Anyway, you guys, that would be 4 down there. That's awesome.
Well, we appreciate your efforts in trying to help him through those steps, and I'm sure he does too. Okay, any other discussion concerning Excel from any of the board members? Okay. Item number 8 is any action regarding our water source for industrial use.
Apologize, I did not call them today to find out our status because I have not received our permits yet. So,
Okay,
once I get the permits or whatever, I'll notify you and the commissioners and see what they want to do. But our time frame doesn't start until they issue those permits anyway. So.
okay. Item number 9 is action regarding the Martin Marietta lease. This is basically a formality Sonia informed me that Freddie Eufaula called. Everything's good. So we're going to roll that forward.
They have the option with the original, their initial term, to 2 additional consecutive periods of 5 years each. And they are asking to implement a renewal at this time. So
It's better than the alternative.
it is.
Okay.
And Sonia, they still have a right to rescind the lease upon giving us notice, correct?
Sure.
And
All the same terms and everything apply.
you don't recall that amount of notice? I forgot that. It's not that long, is it? Am I thinking wrong?
I knew, Ed, that you would probably have questions. And so instead of getting up and going in and trying to find it, I brought it with me. 30 days written notice.
Okay. I don't have any other questions for sure.
Are you sure? But I'm ready this time.
Randy, throw her a fastball.
No,
Yes.
no.
Randy's read this lease. He knows this lease.
No, I don't remember.
Throw her a fastball,
I didn't remember that
Randy.
one.
Yes, we talked.
So this
sure.
will be enough. I mean, things are good.
Freddie, have any other discussions or anything about the rock or anything?
No, I did the December 1st though. I received a call from Freddie Eufaula saying congratulations on our national certification with BNSF on our certified site program. He was unaware of it, even though he was here at the turf hunt when we actually did our site visit. But Steve Schaefer got it and wanted to make sure that they were the only aggregate company up here. Because they're afraid that's going to start ringing our phone. And I will say it has rang our phone a little bit. I have a trunking company that's headquartered out of Bozeman, Montana that wants to come and operate their trucks out of our yard. I said, right now we don't need that, but I will keep your number. So, and there's another gentleman that
Excuse me.
has not called. He called while I was gone, and I've left a voice message for. I don't know the nature of their business yet. So I think that will be huge for us.
Well, that
That's
sounds.
the advertising you guys wanted.
And you're going to talk about that a little bit later, aren't you? Are we going to have a grand opening or going to publicize that anyway?
I think I forwarded everything to Lynn, everything that I had,
It's
at
in the
least to the
paper.
We
newspaper.
put the certification thing.
The news release in the paper.
Yeah.
I think it'll make a huge impact nationwide to shippers and carriers that frequent BNSF sites.
They send it out to their client list. So
When you pull up BNSF, we're right there in the middle of it. It's pretty cool.
Is that the one with the map?
mhm.
Yeah.
If you didn't know where Avard was
Yeah, you
before,
will.
you will.
Yeah.
Okay. That sounds good. Glad Martin Marietta's happy. And
You talking about any train loads coming this way, Sonia?
Not at this time. Not that I'm aware of. Randy, have you got anything?
Nope. All I can say is if the legislature doesn't get their act together, there may not be any more for a while.
See, and I didn't say it because I knew that Randy would. I didn't want you to be able to say that you didn't say anything.
okay. Item number 10 is concerning our RV park located in Avard. And we had talked at our last meeting about needing to establish a rate for occupancy at that site. Todd?
The site committee has not met.
Ted, do you remember who's on the site committee?
I actually tried to call Todd to see if we might be able to go down there this evening, but he was tied up, but
Okay.
um,
Well,
you know what, if we're gonna do a lease, what I need, and I don't know if Shelley can help us, but a legal description, and maybe I need to spend some time over at the county clerk's office. Sonia, you think, or Shelley, you think, or?
I'll see what I can.
Well,
Round up.
I can tell you how it went about to get utilities turned on. We tracked it down through the water department and through OG&E. It's,
you're talking about the rural water.
yeah, block 122, lots 2, 3, and 4 of Avard.
Block 122, lots what?
2, 3, and 4.
Probably fairly accurate. Isn't it?
And then, of course, now OG&E, it is corner of Virginia and Eagle Chief.
If I remember correct, Randy, there's 1 meter there, so if we have more than one rental,
That is correct.
Yeah. One of each.
we need to include, I guess, utilities in whatever we lease it for. Would be probably the way to do that.
I'm guessing
You're talking about
there's one water meter, one electric meter.
this.
So if you have multiple, if you only got one there, it's their bill.
Well, I think we may have had some light inquiries, right, Sonia, concerning venture. If they're still going in the spring, correct?
Just kind of
Because of the budget.
Be able to give them an idea of what we're gonna rent it for. And
Well, surely within the next month, the site committee can get down there and make some recommendations.
I guarantee you.
Sorry about that. Once again, I let
do we
us.
have a motion to table?
Okay, you need a motion to table. We need a motion.
I think so.
So move.
So,
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to table the motion concerning the RV park. Roll call.
Sutter,
Yes.
Royster, yes. Holder,
yes.
Bixler.
Yes. I was just thinking if I was a good board member, I'd take some pictures and send them to Todd so that he could see the deal and not have to go.
I need to come,
Okay.
but I appreciate any pictures that would be.
I just thought of that. I should have been more forthright about offering that.
I've had plenty of time, I just didn't do it.
Okay. Item number 11. And this is concerning dismantling or repair of our clear span building. To bring the board up to date, we are sitting on a $45,000 plus check. Right, Shelley?
45,000.
204.55.
Have we deposited that, or are we just holding the
It's
check?
just, we're just holding it still.
We are holding it. We would need, I'm just going to use round numbers, Sonia, so it's easy for the board to remember, but to fix the building, total project's going to be right below $80,000, 79 something. So the balance we'd have to add to it is $34,628.
61.
Anal. Well, I'm going to tell you, there'll be other things that we'll have to do too.
Okay. I want to reminisce with you for just a minute.
Reminisce.
Okay. Back when we were negotiating with Venture, and July 26th,
What time?
8:44. Rocky, I've updated the lease regarding your address. I talked to Stan,
What time?
8:44. And because we are not sure of what will be covered by the insurance in regards to the building, we're not amending the lease to reflect usage either way. In this first year, provided we get the building retarped, you will be able to utilize it under the current agreement and we will renegotiate at the end of the initial term. However, if retarping the building is still cost prohibitive for the authority and they choose not to retarp, you will be given the option to retarp and utilize, or the authority will proceed with removing the building from your leased lot.
Thank you. I'm glad you read that. So,
Just a reminder of what we said we would do.
okay, we also said we give them an option if we didn't want to. And then if they didn't want to.
If it was cost prohibitive, yes.
Yes. So,
Well, I think we need to, personally, my opinion is we contact them to see if they have any interest in the building and if they would be interested in increasing their rental in the event we made that building usable. If they're not interested in using it or increasing their rent, then my personal opinion is we shouldn't spend any additional money on it at this time. But I am of the opinion that check we have for $45,000, that maybe should be deposited.
well, and help me out, we were holding it correct because there was some debate whether we're going to pursue additional dollars, right, Shelley? So we just put it there. And I think we decided, Ed, there's no way to get additional dollars. Correct?
I think there's some concern we waited so long before we pursued it. We could now try to negotiate additional monies, and we might receive less. So there might be some way, we could still pursue additional monies, but
It would be from Chaparral because at that time it was under them.
Yeah.
So let's keep that in mind. It's not because we neglected to notify or do anything. It's because it was not under us at that time.
It was Chaparral's
Chaparral.
duty. Yep, it's all coming back. Okay, so number one is, do we need a motion?
I'll make a motion that we deposit and accept the $45,204.55 check for the insurance company.
Okay, thank you, Todd. Second?
Second.
Been moved and second. Any further discussion? Roll call.
Sutter.
yes.
Royster, yes. Holder.
Yes.
Bixler.
Yes. Okay, from what Sonia read concerning that discussion, we'll contact them.
Who will contact them?
I guess I will, with your assistance.
I'm just asking because I feel like
I
I'm
think I
reneging.
think I was supposed to. Okay, so we'll contact, find out if they have any interest in the building.
Can I make a suggestion?
Yeah.
You certainly can.
Please,
I wouldn't do anything
this
until
time.
this legislative stuff's over. They're dealing with the same stuff in Kansas. They aren't gonna spend a dime down there. They've got jobs enough right now to go through the middle of maybe 18. So until the legislature decides what they're gonna do with that CERB money, how they're gonna handle that,
They're not gonna know.
right.
Yeah.
I mean, I think you're gonna get just a blatant no, is what I'm getting at. And
Well, I
if
would
you
think
wait
so too, yeah.
and see,
And Randy, you've had contact with them, and helped us get them located there. I think in my opinion, if we phrase it something like, you know, if we know these are tough times, but if you ever wanted to use that building, we'd sure be willing to visit with you.
Yeah, I don't mind hitting that with a can.
Letting that seed.
You know, and but I mean, I just and Rocky and them just found out last week
Right.
about the issues that we have here. They weren't, being from up there, Great Bend, weren't aware of what was actually going on here in Oklahoma, because they still been letting bids and some of those things, but with some of the action that's went on, that, you know, in the last month, some of that stuff could be negated.
If I go back further in the conversation, when he asked us July 22nd, we sent the contracts to him. We answered questions on the phase 1 and about the subordination agreement and everything. And he came back and he said, after looking at your responses, I feel comfortable signing the lease after you make the one correction. And that was on their address. On another note, I heard that you found out that you had insurance on the building and were thinking of reskinning it. We would be able to utilize it under this lease, I would assume. Would we need to add that language into this agreement? Thanks, and have a good weekend. To which I replied, yes, we don't know for sure how much will be covered on the insurance, so I hope to know more next week. Keep in mind, this was July 22nd. Yes, utilizing that building under this lease would be possible and language could be added. And then that was followed up with that I've updated the lease regarding your address, and that's when I talked to you, stating that they would be able to utilize it under the building without, or under the lease without amending it. In the first year, providing that we got it, provided we get it retarped, and that you'd be able to utilize it under the current agreement, and we'll renegotiate at the end of the initial term.
So,
I'm just saying, here's all I'm saying, I guess,
Rephrase
is that we started this discussion in July 22nd and said that it would be a week, and we're in the middle of December.
and you're
That's half a
basically,
year.
okay, I mean, I get that. But we have a little bit of an out from what Randy's saying. And you're basically saying till, if we re-skin the building, they would just get to use it till the lease
So
comes
this-
due.
Till this lease ended, and we
Is that-
renegotiate at that time.
Well, that would be a year.
Yeah.
Well, but it's not gonna be a year because we started August 1st.
Okay.
It's just gonna
Well-
be the end of July.
Right.
6 months.
is
Because
all
we've
they-
already got almost 6 months out of the way.
Yeah,
True, but the one catch to that whole thing is you didn't get enough money to reskin it.
well, that's true.
No, there's not.
And I mean, and that wasn't specified in there. The way I'd have read that is if you got
I
enough
mean,
money
Randy-
to completely redo the building, then yeah, I'd have thought you'd have been obligated to do it.
Well, I think the fact of the matter is that we're in a whole different situation now than we were when they were ready to go and start making asphalt and making stuff go. So I agree with what Randy said. I think we should drink some ice water and walk slowly on this. I certainly would love to see the building preserved. I think it's an asset to us. I think it'll be an asset going forward to us. I definitely think it's worth the investment of the $36,000 or whatever. Chaparral's paid for 90% of it the first time. We had insurance benefits, so it is going to cost us more than what it should. But I think it makes more sense to do that than to take it down. But I don't think that another couple of 3 months until we can figure out whether the legislature is going to come through with the money so that it can be used, and Venture is going to have a doable deal. Because if I was Venture, I'd certainly be just sitting and waiting for them to decide before they spend any money.
And Todd, at one time, didn't you think maybe might be another company that would reskin that?
I've got some feelers out, but they haven't bit yet, you know. The problem with that is that we get in the same thing that we did when we got a different company when we moved the building, is that there are some warranty issues if we don't use a certified clearspan person. Not saying that that's a reason not to. I was just trying to get another angle for finding out whether our 36,400 and whatever that dollar figure
Yeah.
was reasonable or whether it was excessive.
Well, I mean, I would say we're fortunate in that they're still willing to do it at this price because technically it expired February of this year,
Which means they had plenty of margin in the product.
you know, so. I don't know that I'd want to go back to them and try and get it quoted again.
Right. So I would say we table it. I mean, we accepted
The check.
Okay.
the show.
Don't say that again, that bid expires.
It expired
If they-
February of 2017.
We talked to them
Oh,
several
okay.
times and they
Okay.
still accepted it, so.
Okay.
As long as we don't rock the boat, I guess.
So
Okay.
what you really need to decide then is if you're wanting to go ahead, whether they stay or not, you can't do anything much for 36,000. As long as you've got lease, correct me if I'm wrong, Ed, you all need to keep the insurance on it anyway. And my point being is once you rebuild it, continue to insure it, and if it adds that much value, whether it's Venture or somebody else, I mean, what you need to decide is if you're willing to spend that other 30-some thousand and just go ahead and get it done. It could be also an incentive for Venture to maybe stay longer if you decide to do that and say, look, we're in the process, we're going to skin that building.
I think we ought
It
to
makes the
visit
park
with them.
easier to show.
I mean, do what?
I said, and it makes the park easier to show.
Well, and that's what I'm getting at, but it'd show good faith on you all's part to venture, even if we have to wait a little longer on the legislature or the money, they might be more willing to set in the park a little longer, waiting on the work deal to come around, because we all know it's gonna have to, I mean,
Still no win.
right.
Okay. Well, I think those are things that we'll continue discussing. I agree with everything Randy said on that then. And you kind of give them a pep talk for us. And
Well, they're gonna,
Phil.
yeah. I mean, they're gonna need a little something. I mean, you know.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they aren't gonna pull out. They're set up down there. They've got rock hauled in there. They've got jobs. Like I said, probably gonna go close to mid-year.
Which will be
Uh,
when their lease is.
Yeah. So they're basically going to have work, and then the question would be whether they'll have work the following year. Okay. Let's move to item 12 then, if there's no more discussion on that. And that's finance report. Todd, do you want to?
Same song. There's not an enormous amount of difference.
And I should have studied this better, but is that insurance check, is it reflected in this financial?
No.
Okay.
It is not.
When we cash it, then it'll be up there, what, in the Bank Central income, other?
I would suggest that you probably put it in your repairs and maintenance.
Yeah, I certainly think it needs to be, or it'd be my recommendation that we earmark it into repairs and maintenance and actually earmark it in that fund as repairs for that building. Not that it couldn't be changed by this board, but at least it would be earmarked. In the unfortunate event that this board gets wiped out, they would know what we did with it, right?
I deposited that check. I deposited that check. You're starting to get a little bit of TIF money.
It's reflected in here.
Oh, is it in there? Oh, right. Very good.
How much was it?
$982.60.
60 cents was interest.
Okay, I want to ask you the same question I asked you last month.
That $8,535, that's profit year-to-date to December 1, is that correct?
To December
Yes,
12th.
12th.
Okay. Why is it a different number under the net income back in the spreadsheet?
Okay. Because this is just,
D.
go ahead.
No, go ahead,
go
that's
ahead.
fine.
Go ahead. Explain it if you can.
So we're looking at that
This
net,
just shows you where the funds went, but note that right here, like October, November, December, there's $10,000 payments. And these accrual payments are listed as expenditures, but they haven't really gone away on this sheet. You know what I'm saying? See here?
Still reflecting.
They're expensed in this one because I don't want
Yeah.
you to think that it's there, okay?
Gotcha.
In the normal,
But it's expensed here, showing that it's
Okay.
taken away.
all right.
But it's still sitting in this
It's still
account.
Honestly, those income figures on the bottom of that spreadsheet should be eliminated because they really don't reflect, they don't honestly reflect.
Okay.
The whole
Income.
reason that was started,
This is accurate, though.
yes, the only thing that this
Okay.
is was just to show you
Where the money's going.
Where it's going. You
Okay.
guys wanted to see it month
Well,
by month
Those
by
figures
month.
are the back.
I
Got
get a
it?
little nervous when you
Yeah.
show net income in two places, it's two different figures.
It's just because
You act
You
like
wanted
you've been
to
a
see
co-op
where it's-
manager, Joe. I've seen a few things,
Where it
okay?
goes.
And I'm looking at a lot of it right now in my current job, so,
I've heard.
yeah,
but that's why.
okay. Yeah, I understand.
Okay.
Dissect it some more,
This
Joe.
is
Well-
See if you can stump them.
No, I'm not an accountant. I just look at the finished product.
Well, as I recall, that we didn't start doing this spreadsheet.
No, we did this to,
To appease,
Yeah.
to appease,
yes.
it came
It's
I
out.
just
understand.
extra. Just
And-
so
Okay.
you can look.
as long as the net income figure on
This
the
is
other one's the
right.
one I need to believe.
That's the
let-
one you need
that's
to
good.
believe.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
You're too nice, Joe. Used to be a lot tougher.
No, I never was.
All right, Todd, any other thoughts on our finance report? Looks good.
I did that last. It's about that time. One more.
Yeah. Next month, that way.
Yeah, because it was July,
So I was thinking it was in the month of.
January and July. Okay.
Okay. Does any other board member have any other thoughts concerning the finance report? Hearing none, we'll accept a motion to approve the finance report.
So moved.
second,
Moved and seconded, roll call.
Sutter.
yes.
Royster, yes. Holder.
Yes.
Bixler.
Yes. Item 13 is Sonia's report, and she's been doing a lot of reporting so far in this meeting. Do you have any other remarks you want to add at this time?
Yeah, Lynn, this will be the second time you've heard it, third for Randy. I need some input on names for the Lieutenant Governor's Turkey Hunt. For invitees, businesses from all the communities. If there's a business interest, give me some contact information so I can get it on our list.
That power line going through Sonia, I forgot, it's not trade wind or something wind. You know who I mean,
Yes,
from the Panhandle to Tulsa.
not the clean line, but the other one. I
Yeah.
called,
Yeah, so
yeah.
wind jammer or wind,
Something wind. Yeah, I mean, you don't have to get him, is that a good prospect? you think?
don't know that it'll affect us much.
Might go through this Shine Valley country yet.
Yeah, they're-
The transmission that.
Are they
they'll be
talking, is that where they're,
yeah, they've had some meetings. I even asked him, I said, if we have some turbines here in Woods County, will you allow us to hook them up, or would they be allowed? They said they didn't think so. They turbines in Texas County. is where-
Cimarron,
County.
Cimarron, and it
Cimarron,
does lap over
most of
into Texas. But yeah, no, it'll just be the transmission that comes through here will not be, you can't tap into it with the turbine.
I don't look
The
for it to
information
even
that I'm
happen.
getting.
I mean, through Woods County.
On everything that I've seen and found and been talked to, I didn't, if it hits us, it'll be just barely.
No matter what, we plugged the rail park when they came and talked to us about bringing stuff in to the rail park.
Is that a possibility, Sonia?
I haven't I had a call, and then I returned a call, and I haven't had a return call,
From that group about using the rail park?
just from that group.
Okay. If they called, I mean, I'm not sure we should maybe invite a representative.
They want to be involved. I think they're looking for support, because I think they're having a hard time getting
sport at the Capitol?
support at the Capitol. 'Cause they don't have all their right-of-way stuff finished. They have a lot of hoops to jump through.
Yeah, and I read an editorial against them last week, I believe it was.
Are they gonna be able to get through Beaver County?
I don't know.
Boys are loaded out there.
I don't know.
They're waiting.
I think they have their work cut out for them. But to their advantage, this is not their first rodeo. They have done it all over, so. Who knows? Maybe they can.
Okay. Anything else, Sonia?
No, but I have a preliminary deadline, a preliminary list that's gotta be turned in Friday. I think I asked at the last meeting and I didn't get any response, so I'm asking again, really, really nice. Kind of pointedly though, I need a name.
What about Baker Mayfield?
That would be great, but right now I need him to focus. I don't want to give him a save the date or anything. He needs to focus right now.
You probably had
You know,
contact with him.
I know the Department of Corrections has, and they're already located here, but in the event, if things keep going the way they are, there's always going to be a constant need. And I think inviting the director Avard to come, he's local, somewhat local, from Blackwell.
I did speak to the warden and deputy warden the other day about this, and they're, of course, Loudon will be helping, but
This is a shining,
jump in and help. as
this is a
well.
shining star in DOC's.
And I read something where Alabama said that we need 2 more prisons in the state of Oklahoma.
Our budget included 2 more medium security prisons. We're grossly underfunded and overcrowded. So anyway,
I have them on the list.
Well, I assume
Name from Joe.
you and Randy, since you've been going to all these meetings together, have got your heads together and.
All of those meetings were right here.
They haven't lasted this long either.
I know. I think it was 15 minutes this morning and 15
I think
minutes
that is a
there.
personal shot, Ed.
I would.
Okay, well, Randy's probably got a pile of names that,
He's working on it.
okay.
He's working on it.
Are we to the point? Have you told them anything about that transformer?
No, you can if you want.
We need to wait till we get done with Sonia's report because
Well,
you
that's
would
part
be
of
a
it.
citizen.
Nah, it would be part of it, because I'm,
Sonia, have we invited the people in our park, like Martin Marietta and Venture, and those have all been, okay. Literal?
not yet. Not this year. We did invite him, what, 5 years ago? And he didn't, but he didn't attend.
Bob took them out to his ranch at Laverne. I know Freddie last year and had a big time with Freddie. And so that's good
Bobby has a
stuff.
couple names for me. One has contacted at the port, so that's good.
All right, Randy, we'll let you slip in there.
Well, it's just, the wind stuff got me started. I got a call from a guy from up in, was in Kansas somewhere, and, he wanted to know about if he could haul a transformer on our roads that weighed 325,000 pounds.
Oh!
Because they couldn't get permitted anywhere in the state of Oklahoma over their highways. And anyway, did some checking. The guy came up here and looked, and I said, yes, they want to come into Avard with it. And it goes under that transmission line, the OG&E's transmission line, and just goes up north of Avard. Really threw me off when he first called me. He said the destination was Highway 64 and County Road 370, or the Avard Road. And I said, well, there's no place to put a transformer there. And so come to find out, it's back south a couple of miles and, well, actually 3 miles and then west into on that deal. And they've got quite a trailer, 20 axle trailer. Each axle has 8 tires on it. Actually has a motor on it. Can steer it. Every axle steers. They can push the truck with that load on it. Said they could, it's a 90-foot trailer, said they can turn any corner that one of our trucks and a belly dump can turn.
That's the
I'd
card.
like to see that little operation.
Huh?
That's the card I need to get a picture of again.
Okay, the card,
The
okay.
card. So after Randy talked to me about that, I called, well, I was calling for Bill, and I had Janet on the phone, so I inquired if she'd had any inquiries. And she had, but she wasn't sure exactly who they were with. So they are, I mean, they're going through the process, or at least they're talking to the BN about it. But they
And this
haven't come
was
to us
just-
yet.
This was just a contractor that OG&E got a hold of about getting that transformer there. And I talked to Donnie, he said our bridges were good, everything's good. There won't be over 27,000 pounds, 13.5 ton on any axle. The trailer's 4 years old. It was the first one in the United States, made in Germany. Said it cost $4 million 4 years ago.
Yeah.
I'm gonna ask if I can drive and pull it.
Okay.
Pumpkin.
Well, that'll be something to look forward to, and maybe some additional funding for the park.
Yeah, so when we get to that, that would be a one-time offload. And so you might as well start thinking about it now. You're gonna have to come up with some kind of pricing. There's not a job creation, really, but, so you need to be thinking about that. It is a benefit, because like you said, they can't get permitted to go down the roads, so it's
I don't think we want them to go down the road.
we're a good spot.
Move to adjourn.
What about new business? What about remarks by our citizens?
There's a trailer.
Lynn? Okay, we have a motion to adjourn. Second,
Second.
roll call.
Sutter.
Yes.
Royster, yes. Holder.
Yes.
Bixler.
Yes.